Hey everyone, welcome to this shmup video where we're going to be taking a look at Hishou Zame, or Flying Shark, as it is known in the West. So I've done a 1cc of this game last weekend, and I wanted to do a quick video to share some commentary and also my thoughts on the game for anyone who might still be on the fence. So obviously this is a very old game. It's an arcade shmup developed by Toaplan that was released in 1987. I was born back when it released, but I never got to play this before. I was never into shmups until very recently. And this is an old game that is considered by many players as a pioneer, which influenced the game and the genre of shmups in very substantial ways. So first off, the first thing I can say is this was the first shmup, as far as I know, to feature bombing. So it gives you bombs to clear the screen, which later became a major staple for shmups in the following decades. So in this game, you get 3 bombs per stage. Sometimes you can pick up additional ones. So you can see, as you can see on the right, on the map widget, there's a B red icon. That's a bomb you can pick up in the background. You can see the widgets on the left and right of the screens. Those are from the M2 collection, because I'm playing this on PS4. Thankfully, they added those really cool gadgets. They look really neat and very retro. I really like them. However, when you're really playing the game, you don't really get a chance to even glance at them all that much. So it's more like, it looks cool, it's pretty fun. It's fun to see if you ever watch a replay, but really it's more of a novelty for this game, in my opinion. So another thing you might have noticed about this game already, and we're already moving towards the end of stage 1. I just killed the boss. So bullet speed in this game can get really fast, pretty crazy fast. So this game has rank. You can see it on the widget on the left part of the screen where it says difficulty 3, and that will go up as we go through the game. And on the later stages, the bullet speed will get really crazy, and your ship speed is really slow on the other hand. So really, in order to clear this game, you have to learn all the enemy spawn points if you want to survive. So it is very memorization heavy. It gets easier the more you play it. And I would say the level design of this game, although it is great, especially for the time, but it leaves very little room for improvisation. So that is something to keep in mind. I know it's not for everyone. I know some people will dislike this kind of game. I know for me, it's honestly actually not my cup of tea. But it puts very strong emphasis on movement, positioning, memory, and knowledge. But I can say it is a good game. After clearing it, after spending some time with it, I think I played it for something like 15 hours altogether, which is a lot. Most of it spent in training, but still. I had fun. I enjoyed the challenge, and I can see why so many people have nostalgia for it. And, just the fact that it holds up and can be played today, even though it's still very old, that is very impressive. It's a very impressive achievement in itself. The graphics of the game obviously have aged quite a lot, but the music, as you can hear, I hope you can hear the music well on this video. The music is really cool. In terms of difficulty, I would put this game somewhere around Mushihime-sama or Mushihime-sama Futari 1.5 original. So, not crazy hard, but still a bit of a challenge for people like me who are new to shmups. So I'd say this is more of an intermediate game. Not a great choice for complete beginners, I would say. But, maybe as a second stepping stone, I think this is pretty good. So the difficulty of this game, again, it's very deceptive because there's a power-up system, and when you're... So right now you can see on the left of the screen, I'm at level 4. You know, it's right next to the little S, the yellow S icon that you can see the 4 bar. So that means I'm almost fully powered up, and I'm moving, you know, we're already clearing the second stage. So, you know, this game, it's not a super long game, which makes the fact that it is so memo heavy more bearable. You know, if it were an hour, then it would be more a problem, but this is about 20 minutes, I think, which means, you know, you can still, it's still manageable. It is work, I'm not gonna lie, but it's still doable. So right now I'm on shot level 4 with 3 lives in the tank, and you get a lot of lives, so that is not a real problem in this game. It's pretty generous with extends, score extends more specifically. And I have 3 bombs, and bombs are pretty important in this game. So you get, again, you get 3 per stage, but you don't get to keep them, so you might as well use them if you're going for survival and trying to go for a clear, because even if you use all your bombs at the end of a stage, you will get 3 more for the next stage. So I would say that's also very generous compared to most games. The resource management in this game is a thing, but is not very difficult. It's not very challenging. They're pretty generous, and that's nice. See here, I get my first death on stage 3, which is pretty early. I've had many runs where I made it to stage 4 or 5 without losing a life. But as you can see, this game actually has a checkpoint system, so you get put back a little earlier. You lose all your shot levels, so you lose all of your power, and that's the main difficulty in this game, is building back all of your power. So I was talking about the level up system, the shot level system. So when you're at max level, and that's the reason why the game is actually deceptive, when you're at max level, it feels really strong. So, you know, feels like 1 minute you're doing great, it feels like you're going to clear no problem, and then you end up making a really small mistake, and you pretty much lose everything, and you have to fight for recovery and make your way back. So that's where I would say the difficulty comes from, you know, because once you know the game, it's actually not that difficult. But one single mistake, especially later on, can cost you a lot. So on this stage, in this case, I'm doing a pretty good job of recovering. Although, see, I'm in trouble there. I'm getting some lucky dodges, and honestly, I remember when playing, I didn't think I would make it, but I did make it to the end of the stage without dying. And that can be challenging, you know. I'm on shot level 1 or 2 if you want. Now I'm on 2. I was just on 1. And so the default shot level is really weak. So that's something to keep in mind. And you know, so when you die, you actually don't lose much progress. The game is pretty generous with checkpoints. It has a lot of them, and they're designed so that recovery is always possible. But in some cases, especially in stage 5, as you'll see later on, it can get really challenging to get through some of those checkpoints because you've lost all your power, and that makes it really difficult. And so if you want to clear this game, I would say you pretty much have to learn both the game itself, how to do a full run, and you also have to learn the most common recovery spots, you know, where people make the most mistakes, where you're likely to die. Because unless you do a no miss, and that's doable in this game, I think a no miss, you know, if you use your bombs carefully enough, you have to plan them preemptively, but once you know the game, that's pretty doable. However, it's really easy to make mistakes because the bullets are fast, some stuff is unpredictable, there are some gotcha moments which I'm not a fan of. See, I'm losing another life, so this is not a clean run. But now we're on difficulty level 5, so the bullets are getting faster. I have to be more careful. But it's interesting to see, I was actually able to make those recovery in this runs. An important thing is how you power up. I actually, you know, just missed a chance to power up back to shot level 1. So whenever you see a wave of red enemy planes and one of the widgets, so I'm losing another life, see, you can see them on screen, those red planes, you have to kill all of them within a single wave, and then you will see a yellow S item flying around the screen and in a pretty haphazard way. See, now it's right when I'm talking about it, it's there. And you have to grab that to gain a shot level. So, you know, my point was recovery is important in this game, and that's where the difficulty comes from. When things are going well, it feels really easy. But then when you make a mistake, that's when you have to focus on recovery and play a bit more careful and a bit better. Just plain better. Another thing about this game, we're already on level 4. The level design, I would say, is one of the strongest parts of this game. You know, it gets all the basics right. There are a lot of traps that you can't see when you're watching someone else play because they know the game, so they won't make mistakes. For instance, here I know to use those bombs here. I just killed the white planes, which give you a 1-up, as you can see, an additional life. But I even used another bomb, you know, to make sure I could grab it without getting trouble, because I've had so many times where I grab an item and I die immediately, because the game is pretty much designed in that way to kill you if you're not cautious. So here I use a bunch of bombs. I just want to make it through that section unscathed, because when starting stage 5, it's pretty important that you have a strong shot level. And in many runs I ended up dying at the end of stage 4 for various reasons. And so in this run I tried to make it to the end without getting in trouble. My bombs are gone. I'll get the shot power up hopefully. So here I think I'll try to grab the bomb and then use it immediately, probably. No, I didn't end up using it. Which is good, because when you finish a stage with bomb stock, you get more points. But honestly, I wasn't bothered with scoring. And I think the scoring system of this game is very basic. It's pretty much kill as many enemies as you can. Don't die and don't use bombs. So it's not super in-depth or interesting. But I ended up making it to stage 5. This is the last stage, by far the longest stage in the game. And maybe the hardest. 4 can be pretty difficult as well. So we're getting there. You know, in this game, really, once again, you have to really anticipate what's coming. You have to know where the enemies will be coming from, which ones you should be shooting down first, and really just focus on speed killing everything. Because if you leave even just a single plane or a single tank alive, that can just kill your run. So here I'm being really cautious, you know, using a bomb, making sure I get the shot item level up for the rest of the stage. I actually end up not grabbing it. And here, see this, there should be another one here. I'm on level 3. So in this run, I'm doing pretty well. I'm confident. I have 3 lives left, but honestly in this game, yeah. And then I just died here. And this is a spot where I died a lot when going for runs in this game. And recovery from this spot is pretty hard. So here I have to grab the level up item. I did not, because I did not kill all the red planes. And then I end up having to face this sort of onslaught with the really low level shot. So I'm using bombs. The problem with this, and see, even using bombs I end up dying. The problem is with this is right after that section, you know, where after those 2 boats, there's a section where I need to use bombs as well, because I feel like it's probably the hardest section in the game, the one right after this one. So I don't want to use bombs. I want to grab the shot power-up item and use it to clear all the turrets here and then move on to the next section. So here I'm doing well, 5 bombs. You know, I was a bit late in speed killing the turrets, but I'm doing okay. I'll use bombs here because this is where I tend to die a lot, because the planes at the bottom cover the screen. So then that means you can't shoot the boats, and the boats are probably the most dangerous enemy in the entirety of this game, because they shoot really quickly and they're very treacherous, I would say. So now I'm back, you know, back on form, I would say. I'm in a better spot than I was before. And this is a good chance to clear. Even though I only have one life left, I'm still doing okay. And I would say bombs are probably more important than lives, you know. And then playing flawlessly and not dying is more important. Here I end up dying actually, but I just got an extend. So, you know, the problem here is, again, power loss. I'm back on the really weak shot, so I'll have to use bombs to recover, which is what I'm doing here. Now I'm on shot level 1. But this is where the game can get a little tiring. Is it feels really bad when you're doing, you know, you're sort of cruising, doing great. The game lulls you into a false sense of security where you feel you're going to be able to clear everything easily because your shot is really strong, and you know, you can speed kill enemies because you know where they're coming from. And then you end up making a single small mistake, something unexpected, a shot that you didn't see coming, or, you know, an enemy spawn that you forgot, and you die, and you might end up, you know, losing all your lives trying to get back to full shot power. So I think, you know, it's obviously old school design, but I have to say I'm not a fan of power loss whenever you die. I think I enjoy games where they give you your power back somehow, or where at least it's very easy to bring it back, just because it feels more fun. You know, it's not so much about the difficulty of the game, but it feels a lot more fun. And now we're at the final boss of the game, the boss of stage 5. This is the end. It's actually not all that scary, to be honest, especially now I'm on shot level 4, so not too big of a problem. I used a couple of bombs, I think. And now there's something you should know if you want to play this game. Is after the final boss, there's a final wave of enemy that's a little crazy, where you get more enemies than anywhere else in the entire game. They throw the entire house at you, you know, trying to kill you. And this is here. And the game actually slows down, which is pretty rare. It usually doesn't. It's pretty smooth overall. And now we're, you know, now that this wave is cleared, we're done. You know, this is the ones you see. We're done with the game. So I hope you enjoyed this video. In closing, what do you think of the game? Is it worth it? I'd say it's a fun game, but if you're not really into old school shmups, I wouldn't really push for it. You know, I'm moving on to loop 2. This is a looping game, so I'm calling this a 1cc, but really it's a 1-all. And so the game is generous. It gives me an extend right as the second loop starts, but I can spoil it right now. I did not make it very far, because now we're on difficulty level 9, which is way too high for me. So you know, that loop will be over soon for me. But in closing thoughts on the game, I would say I was curious about this, and I tried to buy as many M2 collections as I can, because I enjoy them, and I think that they do a great job, you know, latency wise, and with new features and new modes. But this is honestly pretty bare bones. The sequel, Zame Zame Zame, is also in the bundle, but it's 10 times as hard as this. It's almost unplayable for me. It's way too hard, at least the arcade version. So, you know, I don't know. To anyone on the fence, I would say don't feel bad about missing out on this, because there are a lot of games out there. It's definitely one of the most influential games, but I don't think it's one of the funnest one out there. So yeah, I'm now chain dying, so I think it's time to end this video. Again, if you like this content, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. See you.